This is Evan Irwin, live at the Richmond Open featuring Invitational, and...
And the inaugural 2010 StarCityGames.com Invitational Champion, Gerry Thompson.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, I kind of wrote about this in the article from Nashville. Before it was like I try to play one round at a time and then just not worry about everything. And when you end up winning the tournament that way, it just feels weird, you know? It's because like you're not processing it like, okay, I'm in top 4 or whatever. You just don't even think about it. I tried to do that before, but he put it into words as such, like I'm just gonna keep playing Magic until they tell me to stop. You know, and that's awesome. Like that's basically what I'm doing now.
So do you think everyone sort of comes to that realization, or is that sort of a new thing?
It's hard, man, to like train your mental game and to basically just trick yourself, because your subconscious wants to do so many different things. Like you're gonna mulligan this good hand, or like you're gonna keep this bad hand, and like it just wants me to lose over and over and over again. Like you just have to trick yourself. You have to get yourself out of that funk. And I was talking to Chapin about this earlier, where right now I'm dealing with a lot of new kids on the scene, like Nick Spagnuolo, Jason Ford, Ben Hayes, and then Corey McDuffie, who's been around for a while, but also like. And I'm telling them these lessons, and they'll come up and talk to me and be like, hey, you know, I just messed up, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know, you have to get your mind out of the gutter, this is BS, just stop worrying about it, it's over and done with, you have to play this next round, and like, that's all that matters. And I think in teaching these kids and just like telling them all the stuff that I already know, that it's actually helped me. You know, it's like I'm talking to myself too, and not just them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think that helped a lot actually. So I'm very thankful that those guys are around. Like I said, one round at a time. It doesn't matter if you're playing for top 8 or if you're in top 8 or whatever. Just like get that crap out of your mind. If you come into the tournament saying, I will be happy if I walk away with a top 8 pin in a box, I mean, that's garbage. Like, you don't want to think about that, because once you get into top 8, then your fire is just gone because you already achieved what you set out to do. So, I mean, I guess it's okay to have that kind of mentality, but when you get there, you have to really learn how to reevaluate. And I think that was like one of the problems that I had growing up as like a PTQ grinder and stuff. You know, they set the box down right next to me. I'm just like, yay, don't care. Gonna crack some packs later, and stop it. Just quit it. You get bad beated, who cares? You know, you play enough matches, or if, dear God, you play poker, like, you just become numb to that stuff. It happens so often, and you know, people one-outer you and you miss your 3rd land drop and blah 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 blah. Like, it's part of the game. Like, if you can't accept that, I mean, I don't want to tell you to quit, because I want as many people playing Magic as possible, because it's awesome, but just you have to figure out a way to deal with it, period, because it doesn't matter. If you got bad beated, get over it, because you have another round to play and you have to play tight for that. So
to put things in perspective, like, people who have played Survival at Star City tournaments are better than 1 in 3 to top 16. People who play everything else, anything else, like if you play anything without Survival in it, you're 1 in 21 to top 16. There's like 32 different archetypes in the format. 7 of them have above 50% match records against the rest of the field. Number 1 is Green-White Survival. Number 2 is Necrotic Survival. Number 3 is Blue-Green Survival. Number 4 is Junk. Number 5 is Bant Survival. And then number 6 and 7 are 2 other decks that are just above 50%. I'm sure you've heard those people joke about, oh, not joke, they say seriously, oh, my deck has no bad matchups. I beat everything, you know? Survival has no bad matchups. If you look at its records against all of the other archetypes, every single one, it has winning records against everything. Every deck, every archetype, all of them. Its worst its worst matchup against any of the major represented archetypes, it was winning 58% of the time against Ad Nauseam. Now, obviously, these are just the U.S. tournaments. Maybe somehow magically in Europe they've cracked the code and Ad Nauseam decks can actually win half the time against Survival. Or maybe in Europe they aren't all playing Survival yet. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure they have a lot of big money tournaments in Europe in Legacy that nobody hears about. But, I mean, I haven't heard about them because they don't exist, so I don't know, you know? And it's like Necropotence, man. Like, if Necropotence was legal, I bet there'd be 3 different Necro decks that are the best 3 decks, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a healthy format. I mean, there's Control, Combo, and Aggro. You know, Blue-Green Survival, Green-White Survival, Necrotic Survival. I am not a person who's jumped to ban everything like, hey, let's ban this right now, ban this so quick, you know? What I'm saying is that taking a historical perspective, this is a real far away from okay. Like, whatever you think okay is, that's not even close to what we're looking at right now in Survival. How about this? They're gonna ban it. I mean, it's like, okay, take McDonald's with coffee needing a warning label. So many people get hung up on how coffee cups at McDonald's have that caution, you know, the coffee's hot, you could get burnt. And you think, what kind of a stupid person sued McDonald's for millions of dollars because they were surprised that coffee was hot, right? Except there's more to the story. The truth is that McDonald's actually had a number of coffee makers with one setting, and it became too hot when it was left on, like it was just on or off, and it would be left on, it would be way too hot at times, and it would end up leaving cups of coffee ridiculously hot, hotter than they were supposed to be. And this isn't a millions of dollars worth of problem though, but what ended up happening is somebody did get burned by coffee that was a little too hot, but in the process of the case to come, the court case that was ensuing, it was uncovered that there were internal documents where members of McDonald's were specifically saying, we need to fix this, the coffee is too hot, the coffee makers don't work right, they're not safe to some degree, and somebody else internally says, how many people are gonna get burned from it? How much would it cost? Like, okay, let's say the X number of people get burned, how much are they gonna each sue us for? Now, what's the cost to replace all the coffee makers? Oh, if we're only gonna get sued for about $750,000 and it would cost $1.2 million to replace all the coffee pots, why replace the coffee pots? Why not just let some people get burnt and we'll pay out the money when we get caught? And that's what happened. They just did a calculation where they had no regard whatsoever for people getting burnt. They just wanted to know what was going to make, with the bottom line, just right now, how much would it cost? Okay, we let people get burnt, so what? How much does it cost us? And that's why the jury selected such an absorbent penalty in that case for the coffee cup burning them, because they wanted to send a message to McDonald's that you can't just be, or not just McDonald's, every corporation, that you can't just be okay with people are going to get burnt and hurt, and you know what, it's fine because it's cheaper to pay off a few minor lawsuits than it is to replace the things to make things safe. Same is true in this case to a lesser degree, obviously, but with Saito, where in this case, the players who are doing that opportunistic corner-cutting, angle-shooting stuff, like clock time management stuff, what happens if you get caught? So often you get caught and it's like, oh, okay, you get a warning. Oh, okay, I got warnings to give in this tournament. Or, oh, worst case scenario, what? No, I'll speed up now. Like, you warned me enough where it looks like I'm gonna start getting a match loss or something? All right, speed back up, now we're playing faster again. Besides, your next round opponent isn't even going to know you had a warning from the previous one, you know? You just keep pushing it. This is a lifetime achievement award. This isn't new. And this is sending a message to people that you can't just count on getting caught X percentage of the time and it'll be fine, with no regard whatsoever for all these different people that you're cheating. How many different people got cost the top 8 of the Grand Prix in Columbus, or have played. How many different people in every single tournament that Saito has ever top 8'd? No, I'm not saying his career is built on this stuff. He's one of the top players, just like that was part of the whole thing with Mike Long. One of the top players, regardless of any shady thing, you know? In this case, there are a non-zero number of people who have suffered as a result of things that Saito has done that are illegal. And that's cheating, and he has essentially stolen from those people. He hasn't just stolen money from all the prizes that they didn't win, or the invites to Pro Tours they never intended because they didn't finish high enough in the Grand Prix, or the trophies they'd never held up because they didn't win that Grand Prix, or the Pro Tour top 8s that they didn't get, or the Hall of Fame they didn't get inducted to because they're one Pro Tour top 8 short, or the Player of the Year race they did not win because he did. All those tiny little things add up and they all matter. And every single one of them was a place where he stole from somebody else because he did something that is against the rules and he knew what he was doing. But, oh, what happens if you get caught? Oh, it's not that big of a deal. So it sucks because it sucks for him that they're taking it out so much on him because they are definitely unleashing on him. But he's not exactly innocent. He's an awesome guy, and I think that this isn't a reason to write him off for life or anything. But he definitely isn't innocent, and hopefully this is a deterrent to people in the future because, like, it's this type of hardline stuff, making an example out of people, that is what it took to get us from the early days of Magic, the Wild West days that you hear about, into the more modern era where cheating is actually a rare thing. So.
Always like the fatties.